In the shadows we roam, we seek the flaws. Silent whispers in code is our mighty cause. Glitches and bugs, they hide in the night. With pixelated swords, we bring them to light. The Lonewolf clan with their secret way. We hunt the enemy that leads us astray. Lines of numbers flashing on the screen. We decode the chaos unseen. Digital bug hunters, we rise up again. Through the binary world to the lion's den. We fight the glitches, we stand our ground until every last error is finally found. Invisible warriors with hearts of steel, surfing through firewalls, break every seal. The enemy is the game engine's bugs and rent, but we're the saviors the game depends. Zeros and ones, they tremble in fear. When we're on the trail, the end is near. We battle the bites with a fierce command. Victory is ours from our savvy hands. Digital bug hunters, we rise up again. Through the binary world to the lion's den. We fight the glitches, we stand our ground until every last error is finally found. Digital bug hunters, we rise up again. Through the binary world to the lion's den. We fight the glitches, we stand our ground until every last error is finally found.
Hey folks, welcome to this bug hunting video for Sengoku Dynasties. So here we've got a bit of an issue where I was playing in multiplayer with Orignal Toro, so from Orignal Toro's perspective, where I was effectively walking like I was walking on the moon, you know, like Neil Armstrong, one giant leap for mankind moment. And this occurred after I had spoken to a merchant inside the cave in Ichiho. And he was walking off while I was still doing trading. When I came out of the trading, for some reason I was suddenly in super slow motion. No one else was affected, it was just me, and I was literally just jumping like I was on the moon. And when I was walking, it was painfully slow, and the only way I could fix it in the end was to quit the game and come back in. So I don't know what happened, but it was weird. Flying NPCs, possibly one of my favourite ones in this game. So me and Ojin were still running around most of the time. Basically, we were doing combat with either enemies or, in some cases, hunting animals. I think we managed to save the hunting and animals one. But what happens is we run around and we hit them with our spear, or in my case, the giant oar. And every last hit we do on an enemy sends them flying. So sometimes they can be dodging at the same time, which I show as well, and they fly a bit further than they should. Or if we end the enemy, they go flying like Team Rocket. So it's kind of funny, but it shouldn't happen. Okay, so this is the aforementioned bit where I told you about the oar. We still can't tell if it was me or Ojin that sent this guy flying. I had to pick and choose which ones we put in for this one because we have got a lot with the dropping frame rates. So I decided to go with the combat clips and the slight stutter points that we get from this. So this happens whenever villagers are completing their tasks for the days, or the Unreal Engine is changing weather or daytime shading. So it has an issue with transition points, and it causes the game to stutter or flat out lose frame rates. So I show you the stutter at first, and then it losing frame rates in combat situations. So Unreal Engine is actually the problem here. It's commonly known that Unreal Engine 5 is the problem here. I will leave a link below in the video to the video that actually goes quite in depth onto the whole problem with Unreal Engine 5, because it really is an in-depth problem that we don't have time to go into today. Okay, next up is NPCs getting stuck. I mean, they get stuck in everything. So we picked out the funniest clip, which is the guy up at the hunting outpost getting stuck in a beggar's hut. But they get stuck in bells, buildings, doors, you name it, they get stuck in it. Let's talk about farming for a minute, shall we? It's a little bit overcomplicated in this game in that you have to put one worker per field, then you have to have another one doing fertilizer, and so on and so on and so on. This could be simplified a lot more easily, and I will show you that in the comparison a little later on. But the main problem here now is that no matter what we do with fields, farmers do not use the whole field. I mean, there's one worker for a whole field. You can have 1 million seeds in your tool and general storage, and they still will only use quarter to maybe a third of a field. It's infuriating at times, it really is. Broken AI. Well, this one was Ojin's bug, and he was playing solo player on this one. And what he was doing was raiding the Ronin and Ashigaru camps. Now, you have to raid these camps to liberate regions. In Ojin's case, he was just, doing just that, liberating the region. He was after the iron sand area and iron. And he was, I think it was the metallurgy quest, the metalworking quest for the spades and the pickaxes. And that meant he had to liberate a couple of regions for the temple and all this other stuff. So he got to work doing that. And here he gets the Ashigaru camp, and he just walked in. They come at him at first, and then they stop. And occasionally they surround him, but they didn't really do much of anything. I've had to speed this clip up a bit because it was quite a long clip, because Ojin went quite in depth for me on this one. And the Ashigaru just did not attack him. The only one in the end that actually did attack him was the leader. And the main men didn't. And he had the same problem happen over at the samurai camp as well. It was a bit strange. So there is a problem with AI occasionally. It's a hit and miss bug again. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But Ojin does seem to get these particular AI bugs quite a lot. Right, let's talk a little bit about customization here. So, as you can probably see, I'm showing you the faces, and basically it's very limited. So for the girls, we got 3 new faces for Christmas. They're still pretty much the same face with some minor cheek differences and so on. So even then, it's still basically the same 3 faces with more or less dirt or puffiness or non-puffiness or eye spacing. So what I would probably recommend here is, if it's possible, let the players customize our characters here. I mean, we can spend ages in character customization as players. So that would probably be easier, and it would probably take the flack off of you with, us turning it into a meme joke of the same 4 ugly faces with more or less different skin tones and hairstyles. Hairstyles are something else I'd like to talk about. With the women, if you look up Sengoku era hairstyles, they had more than just 2 ponytails and baldness. There was various types of braids, and there was some very elaborate hairstyles where they would be pulled up into all kinds of fashions, and then flowers and other comb and pin ornaments placed into them, representative of the season. So there does need to be a better variety in hairstyles, and I think when it comes to the actual customization of our characters, just let the players do it rather than you constantly having to recreate new meshes. It would be easier if you let us customize our own characters, because then, if we look ugly or superficially beautiful or not, it's on us, not you then. But yeah, it does need improving. I'm not even sure what to say about the male beards, other than only one of them looks like something I've seen out of Japan. The other two kind of look like Chinese fashions. So I think you could do some more facial hair sort of research there a bit as well, because it's like a small goatee and a moustache is one that Nobunaga is definitely depicted as having, but the other ones are more like an unkempt sailor's thing, like he doesn't have time to shave because he's busy pulling the rigging or something like that. But yeah, anyway, we need a better variety for both men and women on the hairstyles and the facial hair. The body builds are probably fine because, in that era of Japan, generally speaking, and I do mean generally, there was always exceptions, no one was really overweight. It was an impossibility back then because you weren't getting enough food. So body build doesn't really need to be a thing, but I do think we need to be able to customize our own faces. And there's a few other bugs as well and other things I'd like to point out, but we'll go over them. And there is some live stream footage here because I ended up accidentally live streaming, so I'll add that in and cut to the relevant pieces and we'll go over that. But yeah, customization needs work, a lot of TLC and a lot of work. So good luck with that, devs. But yeah, just give us the ability to customize ourselves, and I think that'll probably fix it. Okay, so areas for improvement. This is a comparison between Medieval Dynasty and Sengoku because the games are in the same genre but are actually two different developers. So we start off with handcrafting. They should be one and done over on Sengoku because it literally takes hours sometimes to craft a lot of items, where on Medieval you put a number in, one and done. Then we have the next one coming up, which is to do with upgrades of buildings. Storage buildings specifically inside the storage. Now both games have issues with storage sizes. Medieval also needs to work on its storage size, but on Sengoku, what the hell with the wood storage? Seriously, it takes up 2 squares and you have how many? That's a bit ridiculous. Meanwhile, Medieval, you can upgrade buildings as you progress through your tech tree. And we also have a builder's hut where we can send a worker to fix our village after storms and stuff, so that we don't have to continually micromanage. And then we get to the farming. Wow. Farming. That's already a semi-fail over on Sengoku in that farmers don't actually do the farming properly. Meanwhile, Medieval Dynasties, we have barns and a shed that allow us to place all the workers into those barns and sheds, and they automatically farm and deal with all farming aspects in that area of the village. So anything within the area of the village, if it is anything to do with farming, they will come out of those barns and farms and go and do it. We can also pre-plan our seasons in the management on Medieval, where on Sengoku you have to micromanage every season. Also tools on Sengoku. The tool shed could use with a higher racking system because it gets ridiculous when they start getting crafting on certain tools because it gets flooded and you run out of space quickly. So those are some areas for improvement. Don't get me wrong, they do have both things. Now, next up, hand harvesting. So, Medieval Dynasties, you can see me grabbing reeds. This is for thatching and hay. In general, actually straw, technically, although it should actually be called reeds. And meanwhile, over on Sengoku, we have clay. We need a metal thing for clay. Why? It's the softest material. You could pick that up with your hands. And then we move on to fences. Medieval Dynasties, they are still pretty basic, but the clipping is better. So, I say clipping, snapping. You don't have to keep going into fencing to load it up and then carry on with the wall. You can just walk around in corners and it does it automatically. You can't do that on Sengoku. Sengoku, though, does have the added system of you can build corners and join points. You can't do that on Medieval. You can also unlock fences on Medieval as you progress. But on Sengoku, you can make an end or a corner unit, build your wall, and then you have to make another corner move unit if you want to go around and to make this look proper. But here's the problem. they don't marry up properly. So there's no these, you know, this is actually where Sengoku is more advanced than medieval. But they failed. Those corner units need to snap to matching fencing. And the problem is you're either going to need to add it so that, you know, your fences automatically make those corners when the game detects a corner, or you're going to have to find a way to make them snap better. Otherwise you end up with these horrible, horrendous gaps, no matter how tight you get them. And it just looks odd and mismatched and horrible. And even here, you can see that, you know, even though I've tried to marry up the fence and snapped it in, it doesn't work. Now then, armory on Sengoku. You used to be able to put pretty much everything to do with weapons there. And that could use some improvements. I didn't make the video long enough there, unfortunately. But basically, in the armory, you used to be able to put your armor, your weapons, and arrows. And then your guards, if they're on guard duty, would equip it. This needs to happen again. This happened in beta. I don't know how you managed to lose it. I'm guessing it was an engine upgrade or something. But it would be nice and immersive again if our guards actually equipped what was in the armory. So if there was armor in there, they'd re-equip it. If there's weapons in there, they equip that. And when they're on guard duty, they actually look like guards instead of just a peasant randomly walking around. That would be awesome. So here I'm trying to recreate a bug I was told about on the shrines. It starts with the metalworking quest. So I've gone all the way over to Iwasaki to get this quest to come up on a whole new save file. And what I do is I then talk to the leader of the village, and then I go down and I speak to the quest giver. And then the quest tells me I need to go into the mine and pick up a pickaxe and mine some iron. I went looking all over. Now, Ojin actually has the pickaxe show up. It sometimes shows up on the stones just as you go into the mine. Now, for some reason, there was absolutely no sign of that pickaxe. This has been ever since the pre-Christmas update when they re-tinkered with certain tools dropping off certain enemies. Well, now it's kind of broken the ones that are supposed to spawn on map due to certain quests as well. So that one kind of needs a little bit of a look in. However, as the bug went on, I did manage to just sort of run back to my own village. I made a workshop, discovered because I'm in creative mode I can make a bronze pickaxe straight away. That was embarrassing. And yeah, so I was able to get the bronze pickaxe, go up and get the iron, and then kick off the part of the quest that usually tampers with the Ryojin quest, the Ryojin's Wrath quest. However, I didn't get the bug to come up, but I have had it a couple of times and I've worked out a couple of workarounds. So one is you can build the special projects thing before you even talk to the priestess and get your villagers building it. And the second is to complete the metallurgy quest and then talk to her. Sometimes, I mean, it depends how desperate you are to complete that specific quest. In all honesty, the best thing to do is just run straight over to the Ichiho area and get over to the Ryojin shrine and talk to the shrine maiden first off before you even kick off any quest over in Iwasaki. They shouldn't clash, but for some reason they do. This is a video I was promising I'd get out before Christmas and didn't get out before Christmas because life stuff happened and then I got ill. Alright, we're going to build a workshop. Or try to anyway. Buildings. Production. Gather at workshop. Now, I'm not really going to put much time and effort into placing stuff in this village because what's the point? You can't line anything up. Now, anyone that knows me on the other games like this, specifically Medieval Dynasties, I do like to just build stuff. And then I like to build it to a conformed way. Right, so I now need to go find some tin and some copper. Now there's a problem. I can't mine tin until I've got a copper pickaxe. No, I need you to go hands-free. Come on. So now I need you to make a stone pickaxe. I'm going to go talk to a priestess lady and sell some stuff. This is actually where you get your seeds from. This is why a lot of us do set up a small satellite village here. Is you're going to be in and out of Sasogia a lot in the beginning. But there's a shrine maiden up here. Although she is a quest, as you can see, she sells you seeds and flowers. So she's a good one to drop by and sell stuff to. I'm not actually going to buy anything off of her just yet. One of the first things I did in this game was max out money by going out and raiding bandit camps endlessly. I was mean. I was very, very mean. Sorry, I'm just trying to shrink my stream chat so I can actually read it while I play. Because we've just come out of adverts and my stream bots are telling me we've just come out of adverts. Unfortunately, yes, my stream is plagued by adverts. I've had to put on the things so that you know when they're coming. So hopefully, at least with the warning, you know when they're coming. So that's when you disappear and go make a quick cup of tea. I try to do it manually, but then I forget to do it and then Twitch does it anyway. I know there's some copper around here if I get around these burnt out buildings. So normally I would be spending about 2 hours chopping down those buildings. Oh, come on. So as I was also saying earlier, if you can mine copper with a stone pickaxe, why can't you mine clay, the world's softest material, with your hands, a shovel, and a stone pickaxe? I can mine rock with a stone pickaxe, but apparently for clay, I need a copper pickaxe or higher. That makes no logical sense. There's also a lot of plants that you should be able to harvest by hand as well. I'm hoping I can speed run up to this thing, because I will be, when I actually put this into the video I'm making, I will just skip the I'll think of the word, the grind. There we go. We'll call it the grind. Alright, now we're going to go back to that workshop. Oh, so we don't need to have that out in our hands now, so I'm going to skip around these buildings. I will chop these buildings down at some point, but not today. So I need to craft pickaxe. Apparently I can craft... That's embarrassing. So I'm in creative mode. For those that are unsure, so I'll just show you the game settings. So here we are. This is everything you get in creative mode. So there's a lot of things that get disabled in creative mode that just make life that much quicker. Okay, so I am in creative mode. I would like to know if anyone that are getting the bugs are also getting issues with things like Wiimod, because I know that some of you out there do use Wiimod on this. I'm not going to judge you. There are games where I use Wiimod. This isn't one of them. I mean, I do actually have a second install file with Wiimod active, just because I want to test it for bugs. But to be honest, I don't find that Wiimod adds anything to these games that isn't already available to you in settings. So, yeah. That's my opinion anyway. I'm not going to judge you for it, but be aware that things like Wiimod in these games do and can cause some of the bugs that you may be experiencing, because they exacerbate what's already a problem. But again, you know, I'm not judging you. I'm just letting you know that is a thing, and that the game devs can't be out there fixing everything on the mods. That's up to the mod makers to be fixing those bugs, not the game developers. And it's also not the game developers' responsibility to fix your game if mods have broken it. So, be aware of that. You are taking things into your own hands if you are using mods. It doesn't matter what game it is or what type of mod it is. And I'm not against mods. Let's make that clear. I do mod games. Anyone who's watched me on Skyrim knows I mod games. I used to make mods for games. So, I'm not against mods. I'm just saying that the people accountable for the mods are the mod makers and the people that use them, not the game developers. So be aware of that. Right, now we actually do have a bronze pickaxe now that I had to make. So let's see if we can progress this darn quest. Number 6, okay. Yes, we need bronze or higher to harvest iron, despite the fact that you can harvest iron with a stick. A very good stick, mind. And I am thinking of that guy over in Brazil that can literally build a house or other various things with a stick. He's a very talented individual. Just YouTube him. Guy builds pool with stick, stuff like that. It comes up. But you'd be amazed at what you can do with the right stick. That's another thing. This is what I was saying about lighting. Unfortunately, earlier on, you couldn't hear it because I was all muted. So, lighting. It's not very good. It needs to be turned up. Right, so I've got the ore he wants. Let's go talk to him now. Let's get that out of my hand. Oh, here we go. Right, so it's just started to thunder and lightning. It is now beginning raining. This will cause drops in frame rates. But look. Unreal Engine 5 is terrible with transitioning. Absolutely awful. So you're probably going to get the FPS bug show up now. And it does show up even if I'm not using OBS, by the way. That's actually worse. I don't know how that's even possible, but it's actually worse when I'm not using OBS. As in, I'm not recording or doing anything. Right. Right, so we're now at the phase that supposedly causes this bug we are trying to hunt. Now I need to find that bell again. I'm going to end up spending all my hard-earned junk money on transporting from bell to bell. Alright, so I'm going to go to player 1 village because that's the easiest one. Because apparently we haven't discovered the Sasogi quick travel point, which is that stone over there. Not that it matters because my village is also Sasogi. My first village anyway. See, there. Fast travel point. Right, so we now have Sasoge, or should do. And I'm sorry, I'm saying the names wrong. I apologise, Japanese relatives that, and, both past, who have passed away, and present, who probably don't know me because I never get the chance to meet them. I apologise that I am murdering the language. I also apologise to people who are also Harthus as well. Friends of mine who are also fellow Harthus. I apologise that I am murdering our language. But I do predominantly speak English. I was made to speak Welsh as a child by my mother. So my brain works in 2 languages. Welsh and English. But the Japanese is still there, and there's a little bit of French here and there as well. Some Chinese too that I've managed to learn. But I will get back into the practice of using these languages that I have learnt over the years and then had no call to use them. Now I'm a streamer, I tend to have call to use them because I'm meeting people from these communities. So I really should get my brain working properly again. Right, so the shrine in question that we're having problem is here near this Ichiho district. Make sure we've got that fast travel point. It is just over the other side. It is the Ryujin Shrine. Oh my goodness, I can't even say shrine now either. See? I murder all languages that come out of my mouth. So, yeah. Quite often refugees or a fishing net here, but if there isn't, it's copper. So up there is the Ryujin Shrine. I will say the word. Ryujin Shrine in question. This is the one that you need to repair, but to get the proper quest for it, you have to talk to a shrine maiden who lives just over here. Now, I'm told that once we've got this give 5 pickaxes and 5 shovels quest up, she doesn't have it. So we're going to see if I have the problem or not, because it is a hit and miss bug. The quest starts with this line here, and who is your mother? Alright. So it might be that people don't know what the quest line is, right? So I actually have the quest coming up. So I do not have the bug, or at least not this playthrough. So yeah, but I will tell you how I get around it. It is easy. If the quest isn't coming up, don't worry. Just consider it another one of those quests you don't get to complete in this game, and there are too many of them. So I need buildings. Oh, not buildings, this one. That is an outpost. How do I have outposts now? So we have construction project. You will need a workshop for this if you're not in creative mode. Alright. Now I can just assign workers, because that's just how it works in creative mode. And they will rebuild the shrine. So you can place this without having to talk to her. And what will happen is you will then put your builders here. They will build the shrine, and you can just skip straight to the end of the quest, usually. That's how I've gotten around the bug in the past. I have had the bug in the past myself, so it does happen. But yeah, there we go. So we've got to that point, and that's that bug done. So since we're streaming, I may as well go for another half hour or so and just do some random BS stuff. There's a lot of copper around here. So for those wondering, I mean, I know you've probably checked my achievements by now. How did I get the money achievement so quickly? The answer is I procrastinated for a very long time on liberating regions. And by procrastinating, I mean I killed everyone but the leader, so that they would come back every season. That's been changed a bit now. They don't quite come back every season, but they do come back eventually. So you can go out and keep raiding the pirate camp, the Ronin camp, the raiders camp. I think they're called raiders. They're the ones just over the other side of where you start. Basically every enemy camp. You can keep raiding them if you don't kill the leader. Although I don't think that matters so much now. Got a bunch of copper ore again now. I am waiting for the transition bug, because we're about to transition from night to dusk, and it can get a little bit laggy around this point as well. Also, when you've set your villagers to tasks, it gets a bit laggy there. Is that more copper? Yeah, that looks like, yeah, it's more copper. We're not interested in copper. Let's go find a clay node. And hopefully the piggies will leave me alone. Otherwise I'm going to have to give them a paddling. I will need to eat soon. There's clay around here somewhere. I hate this game enough to know there's clay nodes over here. Alright, so here we are. The clay. The world's softest stuff. Mine clay. So I'm just going to go to hand. Mine with any shovel or copper pickaxe or better. Why do we need a copper pickaxe for clay? That is nonsensical. I should be able to do this with a stone pickaxe or my bare hands. And clay is literally a soft mud-like material. I'm aiming here at the minute to see if I can get another bug. The bug being that Ojin keeps pointing out to me, and I have seen it. In fact, you may have seen it on some of my other stream playthroughs, where I've gone through, and I've just realised I'm in miniatures. Give me a moment. I need to set game. Oh, fun. Right. Well, since I know I'm streaming, I'm going to have to get into my stream thing then. Right. Channel. I shouldn't be in miniatures and models. That'll be Wednesday. Create a dashboard. Stream manager. Edit stream. Let's fix this, shall we? And I better put that up as well. We're just going to change unscheduled stream, bug hunting. And I have a couple of DMs. Hey, great streamer. Nice streaming. We're going to be ignoring that because that's usually how bots start. Right. Back to what I was doing. Which was bug hunting. So, right. Actually, I think we've got it coming up now. You see, as you harvest them, they should disappear. Okay, logic. It works here, on this aspect at least for now. Now, there we go. See how we've got a node there? So this basically, no matter what angle you talk to it, or just interact with it, I should say, you don't get anything from it. Now I can do the whole node. But there's this one node now that I can't get rid of. So... there, nothing, see? And we get this on all of the nodes. So the metals can do it, the rocks can do it, clay does it. And this, if I was to build here, would then prevent me, I mean, not that I really can build in this particular location, but let's just say that this node was on a flat piece of land and I'd harvest all of it, that would now prevent me from building. I do think we need to have some level of landscaping as well, because some of this land is practically flat and there's indications that you're supposed to have manor houses that look awesome. I mean, you go over to Iwasaki, for example, and he's living in a manor house there. And, yeah. Why is all of those there? That makes no sense. So yeah, the manor house has this lovely pond and everything, but you can't dig a pond for yourself. You can't, you know, go get buckets of water and fill your pond because you can't dig a pond. You can't level out the ground to make it so that your houses or buildings would better fit the area. In fact, Japan did have an answer for buildings on slopes. Stilts. Now the only problem I have with stilts in this game is NPCs like to walk under the buildings and get stuck. So you end up having to build fences around the building to stop them walking in under the stilts to get stuck. Right, there we go. So I'm just snoozing those ads a minute. Give me a moment. Back to channel. So I quicker snoozed them. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing this for too long today because, as I said, this is an unscheduled stream. I wasn't even supposed to be streaming. It's just that OBS decided we were going to stream instead of record. So when I add this to the video, I will be cutting out all the bits we don't need. And I will probably do a voiceover later to it or something. But yeah, so we're trying to hunt the bugs down. I'm going to take clips of the bugs or where they would be. Clear out this because I need to build my village. I mean, I might actually just switch over to my other village in a minute. That we will. So we'll save this one. Great new save. Bug hunt 2. Don't even get me started on autosaves on this game. They're a bit ridiculous. You don't need more than 2. Load screens take forever. Alright, so I'm much more advanced on this one. I'm into the family quest. This is the original bug hunt from the big bug hunt. These are the things I was telling you about where I procrastinate to make money. They sell for 100 at the stores and I just stack them up and keep selling them every season. And I will procrastinate and procrastinate because unlike Medieval Dynasty where your villagers have children and they age and die and they also level up and grow skills and so on, in this game that all means jack diddly. So you don't die, you don't get old, you just have a kid that gets older to a certain point. Wow, okay. Not a very good mechanic in my opinion. I can't even be bothered to level up, look, except in Warrior, and I'm known for being quite militant in this one. So we will give myself heavily armoured because then I am just nasty. As if I need to be any nastier, right? Unwavering poise. My favourite weapon. The Naganatas. Right, I do need to eat apparently. Pen, okay. I don't know what's going on with my health in this. I have unlimited health set. This is a custom creative. So I have everything in creative except that I made it that my health doesn't go anywhere. But every time I leveled up, my health didn't. So I have this gap in my health all the time. It's a little bit annoying. This is the thing that they call a mine. This is just a glorified stonemasons and processing plant. A mine would be built into the ground where there is a mine, where they would then mine. This is just a stonemasons with processing. Right. I don't think I currently have Discord up, so I apologise if anyone is trying to contact me on Discord. I'm just not really... like I said, I was actually working on my project. I just can't buy anymore, okay. I was actually working on a project where I was making a video, so this was supposed to be a recording, not a stream, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not being overly sociable right now. Okay. I think I've been to Iwasaki. Why am I taking the long way? Pretty sure I've been to Iwasaki. So I haven't started the Raiju quest on this. Oh, I have. Because I've already put the thing down. Right. So we're going to head over to Iwasaki. Sometimes you may need to complete that metallurgy quest to be able to trigger it. So there's a few workarounds. I'd probably indicate, you know, if you are desperate to fix that quest and you want to actually do the quest, complete Iwasaki's quest first. Segi Temple. Oh my goodness. Oh, I haven't! Do I have a village near there? Or an outpost even? I do not. Okay, so we're gonna run. We are running. Right. I might need to put better clothes on. Apparently I don't have better clothes. Okay, where is my forge? I know this town does actually have one. This is another thing. Why doesn't the forager's hut have proper doors, and why is the snow in the house? There's no hole in the roof. I think that's... Same in here. Look. Why is the snow in here? The heat in here would melt it. Now I'm stuck. So it's been a while since I've actually properly played on this game save, so I can't even find my workshop right now. And apparently I can't build my armour. Okay. Fine then. Guess we're going in fancy clothes. Although I could check my house, see if I put it in my box in the house. Sometimes I do that. Nope, nope. I had to move this here, by the way, because everyone keeps getting stuck on it. No, right, so. Apparently I don't have armour. So we're definitely going to run around in fancy clothing and go militant. Now we know the way to Seigo. Oh, Iwasaki. I don't know why I said Seigo. Oh look, more stuff to sell. There's no use for these at the minute, so I just collect them and sell them. Like I do the bounty contracts. Apparently they are going to have a use later, but honestly, I just see them as a pointless aspect they've added for no reason whatsoever. The game's already overcomplicated in places it doesn't need to be. Right, so, unfortunately I said it while I was muted. There is a cave just up here. Unfortunately it's not going to be what we're looking for because we have refugees here. But in there, if you ever get bandits out here, you will get a hat and a copper pickaxe in the cave here. But because I've got villagers, refugee people out there, it's not going to be there. He's a well-dressed refugee.
お変わりなく過ごしたまう。これにて失礼。
Yes, I'm actually looking for the well-dressed refugees at this point, not because they're any better in skills, because that means Jack Doodles in this game, but because I'd like my village to reflect the wealth of the village. So, you know, my villagers are building fine clothes now, or elite clothes specifically, and other niceties, and they're still running around in refugee rags. So I've started looking for the nicer dressed refugees on the grounds of at least I'll make my village look better. Yes, that petty. That petty. What the? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Steam, for changing the layout of that. You just got me hurt. So, Steam trying to kill me. I'm now going to run around with my Naginat, just in case that happens again. Because I'm low health and I need to stay super millicent now. I mean, I'm not actually supposed to get hurt, so that stopped working.
三顔を見て喜び申す。これにて失礼いたす。
これにて失礼いたす。
I? Okay, so I is now with us. I will assign them later, maybe. This may not be a good idea. I do think you should be allowed to talk to Ronin and deserters to get them to come join your village as guards. You know, in little camps like this, rather than them just being generically enemies. And look at the money you lose as well. Jeez. You have been grievously injured, blah 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 blah. And you don't even come back fully recovered, which is ridiculous. Now I'm actually going to change season. So as you can see, if you don't get them into a house by a season, they leave. I was hoping that I would cause them to leave, but oh well. So I still don't have the achievement for making a villager leave, and I have tried everything. And I have made them leave, but the achievement doesn't come up, so the achievement for that one is somewhat broken. What if I don't want to give my spouse incense burners? You're literally seeing how I make money. I just run around and sell random junk. Namely bounty contracts and those ridiculous little statues that are everywhere. This is actually another little spot I do like to usually set up a village because it's flat enough to actually build your mansion here. Once you clear all those trees just here in front of that watchtower. It's a shame you can't incorporate the local watchtower. Mushroom season in spring. Yep, you can't buy anything from me, so don't worry about it. I don't really have much interest in what he's got right now. I have my own beggars in my own village. A random refugee. You can only have 100 refugees in your village. Sign a home, so at least give them a house to live in. Now, unlike medieval dynasties, even if they stay employed, they should stick around your village. Also, you don't have to worry about men and women being in the same house, because in medieval dynasties they reproduce. I mean, not many. It's just that you don't want them reproducing until you've leveled up your villages to a certain type. But in this one, it's only you that has a family. So it's not really a dynasty. Let's go up, because now I need to go up to that mansion again. So this will be the mansion buildings I'm telling you about, why I think you need a certain level of landscaping. So before I talk to him, let's have a look. Look, you can build this whole nice little garden, look, with bushes and nice things and these flowers, apparently. But apparently you can't plant these flowers. Oh, and these things they call irises. Sengoku, these are daffodils. These blue ones are irises. Also, look. Their walls marry up, but when we build these walls, they don't. Now then, on to this itself. So, here we are. Okay, so this would be a medium mansion house. This would be the walkway. See how it marries up? Oh, look, marries up. Ours don't. Marries up to the next building. Ours don't. Are we catching the drift here? Big mansion house. Where's all our interior stuff to build? I mean, look, this is nicely segregated into nice little rooms in here. Why can't we do that? I can see him speak to blah blah blah. I'm a refugee. And he will now ask me to have a meal with him because he's a... Hang on a minute. Isn't that part of the flirting process in this game? He asks you to have a meal with him. Why, as a female villager, am I not able to marry him? I should be able to. He is a local lord. Yes, I know he's married already, but I would just be his second wife. This would give him influence on the people. Also, nice things in gardens. Look at this. He has a nice pond. Why can't we have a nice pond that we can build in? And fill with water. I don't know, we could go get buckets of water and fill it. But the point is, he has a nice pond. We can't even build that in ours. We can't even terraform. We can't even make these cobbled stone paths. So, you know, there's nice things that we don't get. But they're hinted at them being there. Right, so as you can see, I've got Ryojin's Wrath up. So, you want to go talk to that priestess long before you get this quest. So make sure you head over past Ichiho district and talk to that priestess and get Ryojin's Wrath. Then start with Secrets of the Trade. So that should bypass that bug for you. Don't go exploring so far out from your village at the beginning phases. Just only go as far as Ichiho. To be honest, and I'll show you on map, I'm all the way out here. So Iwasaki is out here. This here is a good building spot, that blue one. And here where I've got village 3 is another good spot. Now, ultimately, you want to be coming down past Segi. So you don't even need to go through Segi. So this is where you start, Sasogi, where I've got village 1. Most of us start village 1 there, but you don't have to. So Sasoge, you come across the water here, and you can, it is shallow enough to run across. Follow the beach around, get into Ichiho, follow the path around, and then you will come up along, you know, you're literally following the shoreline, and you will come up on this bit. This is actually the shrine. She is here, where this little outpost is. So that is the shrine maiden there. So you go there and talk to her. Get that up. Make it your first quest if necessary. You don't need to have any standing or anything to get that quest up. Just get out there and talk to her first. That will completely bypass the clash that seems to happen with Iwasaki's quest to do with metalworking. Okay? That does not want to come out of my mouth all of a sudden. So speak to her first, get the quest up, and then go over that direction. But ultimately, if you're coming down this way, you may as well run down here and scope out the Swampette district, this entire area here, because all this area is practically flat. Just where the water is difficult to build in. And it's mostly shallow water. You can build in it. But the best spot seems to be around here towards the Pirates Den. It's mostly clear. It's mostly level. The only problem I have with it, and I will show you, since we're here, I may as well go over. I'm not going to go talk to Thingy right now. We've already got the quest up. So it's village 3. I saw zooming NPCs going to places they shouldn't be. Right, so I'm in the area now. And you can see how flat it is. Absolutely perfect for building. And best of all, you can make tungsten. Because you have sand. I don't know why you need a steel pickaxe for this, by the way. This is sand. This comes from processing iron ore. You should be able to dig this up with a shovel. Granted, it should be a semi-decent copper shovel. Because it would, you know, grind down on a wood shovel pretty quickly. But you should just be able to dig that up with a shovel. But yeah, you should have at least before you can even harvest that. I think you should lock that to you have to have at least learnt to process ore. So as you can see, really, really nice and flat here. The only problem is the nodes. They love to get in the way. Now I built my mansion here last time, and this kept popping up in the middle of my mansion. It was rather annoying in the middle of my garden. Hemp actually looks like bamboo shoots on this game for some reason. Hemp doesn't look like bamboo shoots, by the way. It looks like giant stinging nettles. So I'm not sure why we went with the bamboo shoots. This is my mansion building. So I can now show you what's going on here. And I will also show you what goes on with the paths in this area as well. So my nice big mansion building. This is about as segregated as we can make it. You saw what it was like in that other village? Really nice inside. What do we get? A big empty building. The walkway cannot be built to correspond, so I just gave up. So I have this nice little courtyard where everyone can come and sit and enjoy my little cherry trees. And I've put little shrines in here. So that's what I ended up doing, was building a central courtyard. Because the walkway would not marry up. You cannot get the buildings to marry up. So there does need to be some form of snapping. Also walls. This is reminiscent of Medieval Dynasty. Walls do not snap together. Now, you have the ability to build corners on this game to some of the walls. But they don't marry up again, and I showed that earlier. So it would be nice if we had some snapping that caused it to build walls. That might be difficult to program, but that is an idea. I wish you luck if you do go for it. So, let's show you the next problem. I need a hammer. paths. So we're going to go for a nice... Let's go with the nice paved stone path. Alright, this looks like a good area. Yep, here we are. Lots of stones here. So we're going to come in, make our path. I will probably destroy... Look at this! Stones! It doesn't clear the stones, and you end up with a messy looking path. Now, keep in mind, in Asia specifically, because they're very fussy about this, about things looking nice and harmonious and everything, they would be out every morning with a broom brushing those away. So, what's going on here? Even better. Lots of them here. So, when you build the paths in this game, it's supposed to clear away all the top surface stuff. Apparently not in this district. Pebbles for everyone. So, something's going on a bit weird. I end up not building paths here because they just look horrendous. This is supposed to be the best path, and it's covered in stone scatters. So I just end up just not bothering. So you have the best, one of the best areas of the game to build, and it's the same with that up in that river district area as well. And you end up with just being covered in stones because it's not clearing the surface properly. So over there is the pirate camp. So that's how close to the pirate camp we are. There is actually a lighthouse build site just right in front of me, in fact, on that little hill. And refugees, as you can see from over there, look, quite regularly spawn on these shore fronts. So it's really easy. Also, you know, I get lawn monsters. Lawn monsters being random bandits and stuff that spawn. I get militant on them. We collect things. Oh, it's Ronin this time. Well, we're not having that. Or I could die. Ronin are one of the harder enemies to beat, to be fair. And I do enjoy that. So the fact that I died, well, it's because I'm not in armor, quite frankly. And I'm not fighting to the best of my ability, also. So, I died. That simple. Lack of skill, lack of armor, lack of equipment. I died. No biggie. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of my stream today. Because I wasn't even meant to stream. So, I will see you Wednesday for my proper mini stream here. Where I will actually be doing my usual. I have got some Space Wolves that we are now going to be basing, so we'll be doing those.
Chasing through the lines with the digital sword, finding glitches where the pixels get bored. In the labyrinth of code we must outsmart every sneaky bug hiding in the dark. We're hunting down the ghosts in the machine, tech warriors in this endless scene. Pixel by pixel we're breaking the chains, banishing bugs from our software domains. Every error we track down to the core, detangling threads till it's bug-free lore. We're the heroes of the cyber quest, conquering glitches were put to the test. In the shadows where the errors align, we delve deep through the virtual mind. Every victory feels like a high, in the game of tech we always fly. Tipping away till dawn, paints the sky with every fix we feel. A coder's high, patch by patch as our kingdom gleams. We're living out our debugging dreams. We're hunting down the ghosts in the machine, tech warriors in this endless scene. Pixel by pixel we're